What's up, everybody? Um, it's finally morning from yesterday. I didn't get around to making a review of Case B, of a menu from Case B yesterday. The upload took a little bit longer than I thought it would take. So I thought, well, the morning rolls around, I'll get a breakfast MRE out and do a more appropriate review. Uh, I couldn't think of a better time to do a breakfast MRE review than breakfast time. So it's about, I think it's just a little after 7 o'clock. Um, so it's probably just about as breakfast time as it ever will be. So let's go ahead and get it underway. All right, what I got is the menu number 20: hash browns with bacon, peppers, and onions. Um, I hope this is a breakfast menu. I mean, the hash browns tells me it is, and it's got bacon, so it should be. So let's go ahead and crack this open and see what we got going on inside. How difficult is it going to be? Kind of difficult. These, for whatever reason, they're hit or miss when it comes to seal. Sometimes the seal peels easily open. Sometimes it's hard. Just gotta keep working at it. My hands are kind of greasy anyway, so it won't help me. There we go. All right, so we got it open, and as you can see, the bag's empty now because this is the thing that makes AmeriQual different from the other ones. AmeriQual likes to pack everything in a separate little bag inside the main bag. So I guess it's kind of convenient. It makes it a little bit easier to pack, but yeah, that's the signature AmeriQual thing. That's how you know. If it hasn't been wrote on there, usually it tells you on the package anyway. It's made by AmeriQual, but for some reason it's not there, or whatever's going on. And you see it in this separate bag, then you know that it's AmeriQual. Every other packer, I think, just puts everything in the bag, not in a separate bag. So, alright, we got into it. Got it open here. Let's see what we got. Okay, right off the bat, we have this is our main. This is our hash brown potatoes with bacon. It's very dense feeling, but it's not that heavy. It's just kind of dense, but it's not that heavy. I have no idea how much it weighs. If I had to guess, it's probably about a 300 gram main, if that. As you can see, our lot code, I don't know if the light might glare on it, but 289th day of 2015, if that's the right one I'm looking at. Yeah. So that's our main right there, right off the bat. And then we have this sleeve. This is kind of a new thing with MREs. They just come out with these like little sleeves to put the FRH and main inside this sleeve. And the sleeve is kind of acts like an insulation piece for your hands, because supposedly they claim the FRHs are going to get like hot enough to boil water, which isn't really the case all the time. So most of the time the FRHs do good to heat it up to lukewarm at best. And next up we have our accessory pack, and this has our looks like it has our coffee, creamer, sugar, matches, gum, probably salt in there somewhere. We'll get into that. we'll get into that after we get everything out. Excuse me. Next up, we have a chocolate banana nut muffin top, trans fat free. That is a really new. That's a new accessory for me. I haven't seen that yet. I didn't get one of those in any of the menus out of case A. So that's strictly case B stuff right there. That's pretty nice. I like that. Oh boy. Here's something else that's strictly case B. Here we have a Mountain House granola with milk and blueberries. I can guarantee you that there's not one of these in any case A menu at all. That's the first time I've seen that. It's going to be the first time I'd want to have it. And from everybody that I've seen that's reviewed these, they're usually pretty good. And it's from Mountain House, which is interesting because you can buy Mountain House stuff at Walmart. So if the military trusts Mountain House for some stuff, then you know Mountain House is probably pretty good stuff. And there's our lot code for that. 270th day, 270th day of 2015. For some reason, my voice doesn't seem to want to work very good right now. And next up, we have a beef snack. Generally, for breakfast, I would think that'd be a little bit too harsh on the stomach. Generally, you want easy eating stuff. This beef snack is basically like a chunked beef jerky stick. Might be a little hard on the stomach for breakfast, but being that it's one of the only breakfast menus out of both cases, you get. Can't really pick and choose that. I think I can see that kind of being changed out down the road as one of those things. Next up, we have some crackers, which is starting to become a rarity in these menus. I've noticed out of case A, I think there was only one or two menus out of the whole case that I actually got the old vegetable crackers out of. I don't know if the military is trying to go away from the crackers or what, but I don't know. It's just one of them things, I guess. They can do some weird things sometimes, but the code for that's 272nd day of 2015. So it looks to me like most of this stuff was packed late 2015. What do we got here? Wow, that's something I didn't expect to find in this. Cheese spread. That'll go good in those hash browns, I got a feeling. I'm definitely going to be kneading that up and putting that in the hash browns. You can't get wrong with that. Good old cheese spread. Okay, the next thing we have is the good old tried and true brown MRE spoon. Some people probably does this, some people don't. I do it, but what I do is I like to save these spoons because these are a really durable, reusable spoon, and you just wash them up real quick, and you can eat just about anything. These spoons are nice, thick plastic. They're durable. Supposedly they're biodegradable even, but I would imagine it would take a long time for that to biodegrade. But yeah, these spoons are awesome. I think the only spoon across the whole world that would beat this spoon is the Australian CR1M spoon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to either Old Smoky or Steve 1989. They'll have a Australian CR1M video that they reviewed, and they opened up and they get the spoon out, and they'll tell you the Australian CR1M spoon actually beats the US MRE spoon. It's a very durable, thick, sturdy spoon, and it's got a bigger spoon head on it. So, well, essentially, it means you can shovel more food in your face. And then here we have our tried and true FRH. Being that this is 2015, it's already 3 years old. I'm probably not even going to try and do it with just plain water. I'm going to definitely throw some salt in there and get that thing, give that all the help it can get, because it's already going on 3 years old. And usually with these, what happens is they work good without salt for about the first year, and then after that, they start dwindling down in power. So if you get a case of MREs and the pack date is older than a year, don't even waste your time with just water in your FRH. Go ahead and throw your salt in there. It don't take much. You only need about 20-25% of your salt pack in the FRH, and that's usually about all it requires to get going. And last but not least, we have the one item that I can see disappearing in the near future too, definitely, is this beverage bag. I don't hardly know anybody that actually uses these. They absolutely do not work for coffee. I've tried them. What happens is, when you try to use it for coffee, the seal that seals the bag up around its edges, the seal will like leak. It'll bust open and it'll leak. And I had coffee go into my FRH, and it pretty much just ruined the FRH's heating ability after that. So I do put my cold drink, I mix my cold drink in that, and it does work pretty good with that. The cold drinks, it's marked on the bag for how much water. So for your cold drink, you're generally going to put it up to about the 12-ounce mark, and you can reseal that up, and you can fold the top down and shake it up and mix your drinks up. Which I don't know if I've even got any drinks. I haven't seen nothing yet. The only thing I've seen is coffee. And if they're expecting me to put coffee in that, I'm going to probably go to a cup, because those bags for coffee, yeah, they're not usable. All right, so in our accessory pack, we'll see what we got in here. There's our creamer, non-dairy dry. They switched the creamer out from the dry milk creamer to non-dairy probably 30, 40 years ago now, I would say. And it's been non-dairy creamer ever since, and for kind of good reason. I mean, that obviously your milk's not going to last long in a ration, but yeah, non-dairy creamer is definitely going to help extend the life of the storage ability of the ration. And then here we got Coffee Instant Type 3. I've heard a lot of people say that the Coffee Type 3 is probably one of the worst instant coffees they came out with to put in the MREs. And in case A, matter of fact, I remember I come across several menus that had the old Coffee Instant Type 2 in there. So they're trying to go back to Type 2, but where this is just a 2015, they haven't, with this year, they didn't do it yet. My case A I had was like packed in 2017. So it was actually just under a year old when I got it. And they had already made the switch back to Type 2 by 2017. So that doesn't surprise me that Coffee Type 3 is in this menu with this at this pack date. And here's our salt for our FRH and for the meal. There's our chewing gum. Steve 1989 says that 6 packs of these makes a laxative effect. So yeah, you can go figure with that. I mean, I don't think I'm in the position to try that. So, and here's our toilet paper. Use it sparingly. Is the only thing I can tell you with that. There's our sugar, moist towelette, and our matches. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is get rid of some of this trash. We've got a lot of excess trash kind of building up. And what I like to do is take my trash and put it down in the main MRE bag. After you've done emptied it out, it makes a good trash receptacle. Out in the field, I think that's actually what they do too anyways. So here's our, let's go ahead and get our main going, since that's going to take the longest. It'll probably take about 15 minutes, I'd say. Going by the age of this FRH, it might take a little bit longer. We'll see. We'll put the salt in there and give it our best shot and see what happens. That's all we can do. It might even be a complete dud for all we know. So, doing this Steve 1989 style, what he says to do is you go ahead and push the main meal food in the pouch. You're going to want to kind of push it down toward the bottom. And all I'm doing is I'm just kind of like kneading it and pushing the food down toward the bottom of the pouch. And that's going to help the element to set right directly on the food instead of it being more spread out. And that's going to help the food to heat up more evenly. It's a nice little touch. I never did really think of that before until I seen Steve 1989 do it, and he says that's what the best way to do that is. I almost want to say that it would be a good idea to put the muffin top in there, but I don't know. Some of these desserts, they're good to put in there, and some of them they ain't. We'll go ahead and leave it out. Y'all can kind of guide me on that and say whether that was a good move or not. These desserts, they're kind of, hit or miss, and I think it really just comes down to personal preference more or less. I mean, you might get a guy that'll heat everything up, put as much in there as you can. But some things just work and some things don't, as far as desserts being heated up. Some things are meant to be heated up. I don't know why, but our FRH bags in these MREs do not give you very much space to put even just the main in there. The one is almost too tight. Gotta shake that up around in there to get that to fall down in there. It's not wanting to. Not wanting to go all the way down to the bottom where I would like to put it. But that's all right. A little bit of finesse, and we'll get it down in there, one way or another. I don't know what the deal is. It's like, okay, there we go. It was catching on something somewhere. It's still wanting to fight us. perfect timing to do this. Oh man, that's not good. There's already a hole in the FRH bag. Jeez. With all the rotten luck, this is just how my luck goes. I haven't had the best luck lately. And I'm pretty sure I'll put that hole there because for whatever reason I can't get down in there, but it's going to be a mess. But what we'll do, oh yeah, I can see exactly why I did that. These tear notches on these pouches for some reason was catching on the bag, and it caught just right to put a hole in it. That's unfortunate, and that's kind of the problem you have with this plastic bag stuff sometimes. All it takes is for the slightest thing to catch on it, and it'll rip a hole in it right now. And for something that's designed to hold water, they should have at least made it out of a thicker plastic that wouldn't tear so easy. I definitely want to heat this up because I know it's going to taste the best heated up, and there's just no doubt about that. What is the deal here? I'm going to take that piece that's catching on the whole bag, tearing holes in it, and I'm going to fold it down away from everything. Because it's not letting me put it in there right, and it's just catching on everything. That's what's. These things are supposed to just like blankly set, or not set, but just slide down in there without any problem. And there we go. Well, we got it in there. As far as its ability to hold water, I'm sure it's not there anymore. But I guess we'll just have to have a mess on our hands is the only thing I can say. That's unfortunate. I was hoping I wouldn't do that, but stuff happens sometimes, and we'll just keep rolling here. Find the salt. It ain't gonna hold heat worth a darn now too because of the hole. But lukewarm, I guess, is better than ice cold. So we'll just shoot for the best here. Get some water. I'm gonna do this over the sink, that way whatever water spills out. Alright, now per instruction it says to just fold the half down, half of the bag down, kind of like this, and then just shove it into that sleeve. So that's what we'll do, and hope for the best. Maybe we'll get lucky with it. I'm going to try and disperse the water over that element the best I can. Since there's that hole in there, we might not have much luck. Steve 1989 will tell you the best way to do these is you're just going to want to equalize the water onto that element with the salt, since this is kind of an older FRH. And then when it starts getting warm, when you feel it getting warm on the bottom, that's when you know you can kind of let it, you can kind of set it down and let it do its thing after that. All you really want to do is, the heating element is chambered off. So all you really want to do is make sure you get all those chambers saturated with water, so that the metal filing mix in each section can get the water to make it do its thing. I don't really feel it doing much yet, but I didn't expect it to take off right away, being an older FRH. I think I feel it starting to do something. Let's see, Mariqual Foods, Evansville, Indiana. Let's see if these ones have the same. Yeah, on the back side of the sleeve. Yeah, I'm getting water everywhere. The back side of the sleeve, it has cool little helpful notes that can tell you, like, if you're in certain situations, what to do. And I think that's a pretty neat little touch. But I'll read them to you whenever this thing kind of starts taking off here. And I feel it getting warm, and I'm starting to smell it. So we're going to have something here, looks like. Alright. Feels like it's starting to go pretty good, so we're going to set this off to the side like that. And we're just going to let that thing do whatever it's designed to do. And I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get this dehydrated granola with milk and blueberries going and get that mixed up. I think pretty much all you got to do is put water in it. Kind of like all Mountain House stuff, usually it's just, you just got to put water in it. Allow water just chemically purified to stand 30 minutes before adding to granola cereal. It's got an oxygen pouch in there according to the directions, so we'll have to make sure we fish that out. So yeah, it calls for about 2 to 4 ounces, or 1/6 of the canteen cap. That's not really going to be very, very helpful, considering I don't have a canteen, surprisingly. But the canteen thing is probably not going to be too far away. I got an old World War II one from 1944, but I don't know if I want to use that. I need a mess cup so I can do coffee and stuff, but I don't know if I really want to use that. I might go for a more modern canteen to use. And there's our little oxygen absorber thing you gotta get out of. It's just like in jerky. They have those in jerky. So we just throw that off to the side, and we'll mix this up here. Gotta get our spoon. Tried and true spoon. That is kind of cool how this breakfast menu comes with like a type of cereal. It's like a granola cereal. That's pretty nifty, I think. Go ahead and get this going. And I think that's going to be about right. Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of stir this up. Basically what I did was I just poured enough water in there to slightly cover the amount of cereal that was in the bottom. And from what I've seen other reviewers mix this stuff up. That's pretty much what they do. So I thought, well, it should work. So, yeah, that water is already turned like bluish purple from the blueberry and the milk and stuff in there. So you give that a nice mix up there. Try to make sure you get the cereal down in the corners of the pouch mixed up. It looks like that this is like more blueberries than it is cereal. Like, you get a spoonful of this and it seems like you'll have about half a spoonful of better full of blueberries. Which I like blueberries, so not too big of a deal. Alright, we got that mixed up pretty good. We're gonna let that set and rehydrate for a little bit. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of fold this down, kind of like this, and we'll set it off to the side and open up some more things. Maybe get some coffee going here if I got a cup. Kind of set this over by the let's see. Kind of set that there. There we go. That'll work. The little spoonful that I did, or that I took after I mixed that up, it tasted awesome. It tasted like a really rich blueberry flavored cereal, which is pretty much exactly what it is. But it tastes awesome. Well, I think something else we can do is we'll get our beef snack stick out of here. I think for this type of menu, your best bet, or maybe even with all MREs, your best bet is just go ahead and eat everything while you're waiting for your main to heat up. I think that's kind of what they intend you to do. That's why they usually give you like quick to prepare sides. That way you can eat the sides. And by the time you get everything you eat, generally that's when your mains won't be done anyways. So here's our beef stick. It's made by Bulls. I've never heard of that. We don't have that brand around here, so I'd say it's a brand that's probably closer to where AmeriQual packing is located. It's probably a brand that's more familiar out there, which is nice because it gives you a chance to kind of broaden your experiences of tasting different brands from across the country. And that's what's good about MREs. MREs generally contain things that comes from all across the country. So what may not be familiar to you here in this state where I'm at, it's familiar somewhere else. But you get it over here to you, and it allows you to really expand your familiarizing with different stuff. And here it is out of the bag, around the pouch. It's just a little stick of beef. We'll go ahead and give it a try and see what it's tasting like. Well, first impressions of that is it's super tender. It literally bites right in like it's almost about as tender as a piece of chewing gum to me. Like the dentine gum or whatever, or chiclets. white candy style gum. Ooh. It's about as tender as that, but it's really smoky. It's pretty flavorful for a little stick of beef. It is a tad on the salty side, but that's what that's what all beef jerky is. It's all salty. All right. Next thing we'll do is we'll get this muffin top out and see what it looks like and see how it tastes. Nice. Again, we have one of those fancy oxygen packs, more or less embedded into the top of it. I mean, they had that thing packed in there so tight. I don't know if it'll come up on camera or not, but there we go. There's a perfect square indentation where that thing was sitting on there so tight. That's funny. This is like really glistening. It's kind of dense. I mean, it's not too bad. I can see some nuts in there, so word of advice when it comes to snacks like this laden with nuts. In probably about 4 or 5 more years from now, if this case wasn't stored properly, that nut right there, if you can see it, it comes up. Yeah, right there, that nut. The oils in it will go rancid and it will poison this whole thing. It's still plenty fresh right now. I mean, this case of MREs is 3 years old, so it's still plenty fresh right now. But in the near future, this would become a very weird sponge cake of rancidity and botulism death, pretty much. But let's go ahead and give it a try and see what it tastes like. It claims it's banana nut, so I hope it tastes like banana nut. That's pretty good. I think it's kind of like a chocolate deal. Let me reread on that pouch, because I'm tasting chocolate. It is. It's a chocolate banana nut muffin top. That is excellent. It does have quite a few nuts in it, so if you're not familiar with nuts, or not familiar with nuts, but if you're not a fan of nuts, if you was in the military and got that, and you're not a fan of nuts, I could see that being one of the items that's traded off a lot. But I like the nuts in it, so to me that's a home run. That right there is a pretty good little dessert. Go ahead and knead this cheese spread while we're at it, and we'll get it ready for the main, which I'm sure the main's not going to be far off from being done, if it's even gotten hot. Yeah, it's pretty warm. We got some pretty good performance out of that FRH. I think it's mainly due to the fact that I added my salt. If I just put straight water in there, we probably wouldn't have even gotten half of that performance out of that FRH than what we have. It's pretty hot. It's going to have that main pretty thoroughly heated. I gotta say, it's definitely done its job. Probably already, but I want to go ahead and get everything unpacked and stuff for you, so you can see what's going on. And here's our crackers. This last thing, I'm probably going to wind up putting the crackers in the hash brown potatoes with bacon, peppers, and onions deal, because you didn't get no spreads, which being a breakfast menu, I'm surprised. I mean, the only spread we got was cheese spread. and that's going into the main as well. So I mean, we didn't get no jam or jelly or anything like that to put on the crackers, which for breakfast is kind of a disappointment. I would have liked to have had some like apple jelly or something like that to put on the crackers. That kind of goes jellies and jams goes good with breakfast as well. But they can only put so much stuff in an MRE, and so they have to kind of pick and choose the best items that they think make sense to go in these. But we all have our opinions on the stuff that they should have put in there, and they have their own opinions of what they're wanting to put in them. So that's kind of where that falls. Oh, here's our moist towelette. I don't know if I showed that or not, but these moist towelettes they do good for the purpose intended, but you can't get too rough with them because they are fragile. They tear really easily. It's more or less like a really damp piece of paper. They smell good and they do good to actually, clean your hands and stuff. But it's just like I said, it does good for the purpose intended, and that's about it. Like you can't expect much more out of it. All right, so what I am going to use this bag for, since I'm not going to use it for coffee, because that'd be kind of pointless. I'm going to use it to measure out the proper amount of water for the coffee. Now, the MRE coffees only call for 6 ounces of water, which on your bag is the very bottom line. It's not a lot of water, but for a cup of coffee, it ain't too bad. I mean, I can see the purpose of it. When you're out in the field, you don't want to load yourself up with so much coffee that you're going to have to stop and pee every five steps where you're going. So, a little bit of coffee, a little bit of a caffeine boost in the morning and get you going. I could kind of see that purpose. Go ahead and get some hot water. I'll tell you what I will do. Probably use this old Keurig right here set beside me for a little bit of convenience and hot water here. Get us a cup. Take this thing a second to preheat. So while that thing is doing its preheating cycle, I can hear it taking off. It takes off more violently than the FRH does. So while we're waiting on this thing to do its preheat job, I just figured I'd like to note that if you guys want to send me any rations, new or old, or rations from across the world, new or old, don't matter, and you'd like to see them reviewed on my channel, I'll tell you my mailing address, and then that way if you want to send something like that in, or if you have anything that's like military ration gear related or survival gear related or anything like that, you can send it in and I'll review it. Be a little bit of a added help to get content for the channel. I know where I work so much, the time to get rations is kind of few and far between. So I mean that's one way. I mean we could do that and add some extra content to the channel. Be kind of a good thing. It's just only if you really want to. I mean, if you don't want to, there ain't no big deal. I'm not going to force anybody to send anything in. It's just a strictly voluntary thing. I mean, I can get rations and stuff and do more reviews, no problem. It's just going to be the time to do it. So, what we'll do here is we'll dispense some hot water. And let's see. 6 ounce. Hopefully that comes out clear, but we shall see. Not really. I mean, it's decently clear, I guess. There's just a few little speckles in there. A little bit of flows, but it's just coffee residue. It'll be alright. The way I like my coffee is I like my coffee, as of this stage in my life, I like my coffee with creamer and sugar in it. I say at this stage of my life because, well, I'm not that old, so there's still plenty of time for my palate to change to like my coffee different ways. Interestingly enough, I started off drinking coffee black, which is how like my grandfather and father all drank their coffee, just straight black and as hot as it could be. But modern society tends to like their coffee with creamer and sugar and got all kind of random flavors in there and the whole 9 yards of that. So I guess being more of a modern society born guy, that's kind of how I've come to be so far. Like I said, I started off drinking it black. Oh, the sugar's kind of kicked up a little bit. But yeah, I started off drinking it black, and I just kind of accidentally discovered the different flavored ways of doing coffee early on, and I've even discovered early on about drinking coffee cold, which to the coffee lovers that love coffee that's hot coffee, that sounds absolutely atrocious. Like, they think you're committing an absolute crime if you have coffee that's cold. Which I can see it. I mean, coffee is one of those things. It's kind of like a delicacy thing. It's not as readily available as, say, like a can of pop or something. With coffee, you have to actually make it, and it's rather expensive by the tubs nowadays. It's usually about $8-9 for a can of coffee, which is, to me, is downright ridiculous. Like, I don't think coffee should cost that much. And I've noticed just in the time that I've been alive, coffee has went up in price substantially. I remember when I was a kid, a can of coffee, like my grandparents and parents buying coffee, a can of coffee cost, back in the day, it probably cost about $4 and something for a rather large can of coffee. And now it's like $8 or $9. So, in the last 20 years, it's easily doubled in price. So, it doesn't surprise me though, because that's what everything tends to do nowadays. Everything's going up in price. It's, they're actually kind of making up for lost times, I guess. That or the down in Central America where coffee beans come from, maybe they're having like a financial situation where they're not getting enough money for their coffee or something. I don't know. It's something. It's always something when it comes to that. Alright, we'll give the coffee a quick taste here. Generally, coffee to me on an empty stomach gives me heartburn, so I've had a few bites of stuff here. It might not be too bad, but we'll give it a quick taste test here and see how the coffee instant type 3 is faring out after 3 years. Well, it tastes like a very weak, creamy cup of coffee. Coffee instant type 3 isn't the stoutest blend of coffee, but it does its intended purpose. That FRH is still pretty high. Let's open up our cereal here and see how it has reconstituted. Oh yeah, that looks like cream of wheat. Look at this. That's like probably the best little thing of cereal you'd ever come across right there. Let's give it a try after it's fully rehydrated. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's a very good thing to eat in the mornings. Alright. We got our main out of the pouch here with the FRH. We're going to go ahead and crack it out here and see what we got going on with this main. Much to my surprise, despite putting the hole in the side of the FRH pouch, she's really thoroughly heated. The FRH done its job, even with holes in it. So I kind of figured we would manage somehow or another. Can't let the little things in life slow you down. That's what I've come to learn. If you keep letting small stuff like that slow you down or hold you back, you'll not get anywhere. Alright, so after this thing is heated and we got everything, remember we pushed everything down to the bottom. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to knead everything back up to the even. And that kind of like will help distribute the heated food more evenly throughout the pouch. And I have to admit that Steve 1989 was absolutely ingenious for doing it that way, because as I'm feeling this is absolutely heated up thoroughly, evenly, all the way through. Like there's not a cold spot in this entire main. And that's what you want. Now something else I'd like to point out too is these main pouches are the old style where they have the tear notches across the short side, and you're going to hold your pouch like this and eat out of it. My 2017 case I had, they actually switched to the newer style where they have them here and here, and you tear this off like this, and you're going to eat out of it this way. That's more practical, I think. To me, that was a good move for them to do that. I like it this way a lot better than I do this way. This way is still not bad. I mean, they give you two tear notches, one there and one there, and you can tear it off right here. And it's still rather small to eat out of, so it's not like you can't get to the food. But alright, we'll go ahead and crack open into this. I think this video is starting to get rather long. At the moment, I'm doing everything in real time. I don't have any editing software or editing equipment to cut down the length of videos, so everything's done in real time. That's why it's kind of long. Go ahead and crack open the top half here. Oh my gosh, that is so good looking. Whoops. Ah, it's dripping everywhere. Trying to rip that down in there some. You don't have to tear it off again. If I can do it. That's not going to do it. Well, this is another reason why they switched to the other way. Because now this thing's kind of stuck. Got a big old my fingers are too greasy now to grab a hold of it. And I'm one of those people that I hate having like all this hanging up there and it won't come off. So let me see here. I should have a pair of scissors. You just hack the rest of it off. Well, you know what? We'll just do like this. Oh my gosh, people, really? I ain't never seen such. It's like, no matter where I try to tear it at, when I do get it started, it just keeps on going and going and going, so I'm going to wind up having a mess everywhere. I'm trying to keep everything in the pouch, but this isn't working. I don't know. Hey, success. One giant mess later, we have succeeded. I'm trying to set that somewhere so I can wipe my hands off. One giant mess later. That's one small attempt for man, one giant mess for mankind. A little bit of astronaut Buzz Aldrin wording there for that whole experience. That was kind of ridiculous. So, as for the cheese spread, I don't know if I'm going to really need to put all of it in there or not. It's pretty cheesy as it is on its own. Kind of. Here's your look at what it is. This is the hash browns with bacon and stuff in there. I gotta say, I've only got what's off my fingers, and it already tastes amazing. But you add some of this stuff right here, and you can take an ordinary MRE main from bland to wow in just a few seconds. Now we'll try with that much cheese in there right off to start with. Give this thing a little extra cheesy zip here. We might not even need any salt. I could imagine. See now, if we didn't have that whole stupid tear situation, I have a little bit more pouch that I could put more cheese in there and stuff and not have to worry about spilling it everywhere. But this right here is ridiculous. Like, they should have designed that a little bit better to tear it right. That's ridiculous. I mean, I've pretty much just destroyed like half the pouch just trying to get it off, and I've almost spilled all my food out of it trying to do it too, which was definitely wouldn't have been good. Man, that's good. I'll take that back. Maybe just a dash of salt. They give you more than enough salt. I mean, you have some, by the time you put some in your FRH, you've got, a dash in your main. That's it. And I still got probably half a pack of salt left. Plenty of salt. So don't worry that you're going to run out of salt. That salt was the way to go. That's exquisite now. There's only one thing missing. Time to bust out the crackers. See if we get a little bit of a hiss here. Maybe. Yeah. A little bit. I don't know how well that picked up on camera. I mean, I tried. I got it as close to it as I could to get. Really. These crackers, for whatever reason, are also ridiculously hard to open. Since they're 3 years old, I did smell them to make sure they didn't smell bleaching. And they smell fine. They smell like that, kind of like that vegetable-y barley smell that they normally smell like. As far as getting these out in one piece, I can tell you right now, you might as well forget about it. Because these crackers are so brittle, they're even more brittle than a piece of tissue paper, pretty much. That's about as good as you'll get, and that's even got some corners busted off of it. But that's about as good as you'll get as far as getting a whole cracker out of the pouch without it being busted up. I'll probably just put that one cracker, or try to get that one cracker in pieces into that main. Because I think that's what it's missing, is a little bit of that cracker body. And then, other than that, I think that's probably going to do the main pretty good. I think I've tried everything so far except the cracker. Well, here, I'll try the cracker by itself. Kind of help you judge whether it's still good or not. Yeah, they taste fine. They just taste, they're unsalted. They haven't been salted for 20 years. So they just taste like bland crackers. They're only really good if you put something on them, like spreads. They'll be excellent inside this main though, for sure. Try to inch these down in here somewhat. About like that. Should be fine. That's awesome. That main now has everything that it needs, and surprisingly, despite what the package stated, I have not come across any onions or peppers in that. The main pouch describes it as hash brown potatoes with bacon, pepper, and onions, and I haven't come across the pepper or onions, unless it's just kind of all in the bottom, and I haven't been able to mix it up very well. It's a possibility. I mean, like I said, with that whole tearing the pouch open to get into it ordeal, I lost a lot of stirring ability with it. As for the next cracker, I think the best thing to do is just go ahead and put the rest of the cheese spread on the cracker. I know one thing that would have been nice with that bacon hash brown main would be bacon cheese spread. Could y'all imagine the bacon cheese spread in that? I mean, just adding to the bacon flavor. I mean, add more bacon. How could you go wrong with that? It's bacon. You got to have more bacon. Good old tried and true military MREs. Guaranteed to cure what ails you. I mean, it could possibly, I guess. A lot of this stuff's fortified with vitamins to help add to the energy intake. Well, there's the cheese spread on the cracker. Other than the gum, I don't want to ruin my palate with the gum. But it's peppermint flavored, so just picture chewing peppermint dentine gum or something. That's exactly what that tastes like. But I guess that's going to do it for this video. It's starting to get rather long. I'm probably going to start trying to post this video later on this evening, because I know it's going to take forever for it to upload, and maybe between the time I start and the time I sleep through the night and stuff, maybe it'll be done, be closer to being done. I'm going to go ahead and go and finish this stuff, since this is technically my breakfast. I know you see some MRE reviewers, they got trays to lay their food out on, which would be rather handy, but I don't have any trays right now, so you just kind of have to do it. This is kind of like a more in the field type prep. Like if you was in the field, like in the military, this is pretty much how you'd have to do it. But I think that's going to do it for this one. I think I reviewed everything in this one. Yeah. Except the moist towelette and the gum, which the moist towelette, it's mediocre at best. It does its job, but and the gum is just pretty much standard gum. These matches are pink tip, and what I've heard is these matches aren't as good as what the older matches used to be, like back when they was in like the MCIs and stuff and RCIs. Those matches right there, they used to say those was probably one of your easiest striking matches. I guess I could get one and try it out there real quick. I haven't actually struck any MRE matches I got out of the other case. We'll just try it out here, I guess. Well, they work, surprisingly. They have that nice funky match burning smell that I like. I love that. I love the smell of matches burning. I don't know why. It's just like a really thick aroma that it just smells good for some reason. It's probably not good to smell it, but I like it pretty good. Oh yeah, I did forget to tell you my shipping address if you want to see anything in. Again, that's completely your call. I'm not going to force nobody to send nothing in. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm just saying if you want to, if you truly want to, you're more than welcome to. It's not like, it's not. It's going to, whatever you send in, it'll wind up on a video on my channel. So you'll definitely see what you send in being reviewed. But my shipping address is 4745 Mount Union Road, Pliny, spelled Pliny, West Virginia 25082. That's my shipping address, and if you send something in, chances are it'll be in my mailbox. Already. So that's my shipping address. Old Smokey, he's also from West Virginia. He's in the same county. I live in Mason County, and Old Smokey lives in Mason County. But he lives, I think it's probably about a 40-minute drive from my house to his vicinity. He lives in a little town called Mason, West Virginia. And it's, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that area or not, but if you're familiar with where Pomeroy High is, Mason is right across the river from Pomeroy. You've got that big bridge that you go across back and forth between the two. But that's kind of where Old Smokey's at. But that's all Mason County, like between Mason and where I live is all like Mason County. Yeah, but he's pretty local to me. I was really glad to find him and start watching his videos and discover that he was very local to me. I didn't expect to find anybody local to me that does this. But yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. He's a real nice guy. People send him stuff all the time, and he reviews it. So yeah, his channel's quite a bit bigger than mine. He's got a lot more videos, and he's gotten a lot farther with his channel than I have so far. I'm hoping that one of these days my channel will start to grow. Anybody and everybody, like, comment, subscribe. There'll be plenty more where this came from, trust me. I got 2 whole cases worth of MREs, so there'll be plenty more coming. Be some foreign stuff coming. Hopefully, maybe, possibly be some old vintage stuff coming. It just all depends on how big my channel goes. But like I said, yeah, you're more than welcome to send anything to that address, and it'll be reviewed on my channel, and you'll see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this MRE before my main gets cold and my coffee gets cold. We'll catch you all on the next ration review later.